patch notes, which you guys have been talking about. You give me the gist, but this is actually seeing the devs, you know, say it, right? True reacts. So new perk, do no harm. When you heal another survivor for each hook state, they have heal 50%. I still don't know why they have tiers. I don't know why they have tiers. You're always going to be aiming for tier 3. What the fuck is the point of these two? I still don't get it. 50% faster and gain 3% progress for succeeding great skill checks. Wait, you didn't tell me that part? Wow. Oh, that's just on healing. That's just on healing, right? Yeah, it must be. Right? It doesn't say it's just on healing, but that's the devs. That's just what they do. The devs, right? It's not on gens as well, because great skill checks are on more than just healing. But it just says great skill checks. So, once again, it's probably the devs just not telling you, right? It's probably just here. Do we need to guess? Checks out. First thing we read, they don't give you a clear idea of what you're actually reading. Yep. That's the devs. Duty of care. When you take a protection hit while healthy, all of the survivors within 16 meters gain 25, 25, 25, for 4, 5, yeah, tears is so stupid. Okay, so 6 seconds, 25% movement speed. Yeah, so that's going to be the strong ones for Swift, innit? It's going to be... Yeah, it's very strong, that. I think they're trying to... You know, strategies with Killer, instead of survivors working out strategies against it, the devs are just trying to think of perks they can use to use against it. And this looks like, you know, once again, as I said, but this time we're reacting to the notes, so, you know, people can see clips on YouTube. It's going to be when you need that survivor dead, right? So you've got 1 gen left. You've got a lot of hooks, but no one's died yet. Oh, this person, if I get them, they die, and then I might be able to get the 2 3K maybe, because there's 1 gen left. But now they have duty of care. Because the survivors have the UI, I'm assuming the killers still don't have a UI, what shows hooks, I'm assuming. Because the survivors have the UI, which tells them all the hook states and everything, gives them all that information, smart survivors, especially if they're using this, they'll see, because the UI tells them who's being chased as well, they'll see that the person on death hook is being chased, and they will run towards the terror radius, see that person, and then boom, body block, duty of care, extend the chase. 2 people are on gens while that's happening. Boom, killer does not have enough time to shift W. It's going to add like 15, 20, 30 seconds onto the chase, minimum, where the killer can't really do anything about it unless it's a top tier. That's what everyone plays, the top tiers, like Blight. And then, yeah, guaranteed gen, right? So very, very strong with good survivors. Probably won't do anything with bad. So this is going to be the most game kind of changing perk if used correctly. So this is the strongest perk that we've seen in this new thing. And then rapid response. When you do a fast locker exit, you suffer the exhaustion status. I see, that's why you do it. So you can see the aura whenever you do a fast exit. This is the worst one, but it's still not terrible. You see the killer aura for 2 seconds, and exhausted prevents one from using perk that calls exhausted. Yeah, I mean, that's obvious. Oops. Yeah, I mean, that's the worst one. It still gives you information in Swift. This is the best one, and this one's decent, but they'll just use will make it, I feel like, because you get the 100% instantly without having to go through all this. Though you do get this all the time, so you think 2 of these are pretty bad? Yeah, I would say this is the main one. This one wouldn't be bad if will make it didn't exist, but it does. And also, I think is it any means necessary? I think that might be better than this too as well, but I can't remember the numbers. Here we go. What is this? Added a cooldown to interrupting unhooks with shock therapy repeatedly. So you told me this. This was one of the Doctor's strongest things for endgame. And could actually counterplay. Still not 100% by the way. If the survivors were good, they could get around this. I've got many videos where I've gone against good survivors and understand how to get around this. But average to low survivors, they won't know how to get around it, and you'll pretty much be able to guarantee one kill. But now you won't be able to even on bad survivors. So if there's a hook near an exit gate, it's the only hook you can get, and you're the Doctor, guaranteed escape, because obviously they get the endurance, the speed up, the invulnerability, and you're on cooldown from the hit. So they've made counterplay against the Doctor. Well, actually, they still were counterplay, ironically, but they've made counterplay, brain dead counterplay against the Doctor, where you don't need to think, it just does it for you. But still no counterplay on unhooks near an exit gate, which give them a free escape, right? They still haven't fixed that, still just free escapes. Howlmaster, increase the dog's vault speed. I think I heard about this. Yeah, that's a buff. Bit strange. Why have they done that? Okay. Double the bull point reward of deviousness scoring events. Remove the turn rate limit during the open phase or the demon strike. So this is only getting the good attack back. So that's good. You know, the 180, which they got rid of. So it looks like it was probably a bug. This is really fucking whatever. It's just a bit irritating. They have like uncountable things with Killer. So many uncountable things. And then something what's actually counterable but needs skill. They're like, fuck it. We'll just make it counterable. We outskill. Whatever. So survivor perks. Boon Dark Fury. They've increased it to 3% plus 2. Okay, almost double. So the numbers don't look too crazy because it's 2 and 3, but if you look at it from what it is, it's 50% more, right? From what it were, which is actually a big thing. You know, sometimes if something's 2%, they'll put 2.1% to give you perspective, not 2% to 3%. So it will make a difference. 3%'s like made for this, right? And made for this, you definitely can feel. So, yep. And boons never can be broken. They only can be put out, so they can keep putting it on over and over again. They're not going to lose the perk, unlike hexes, which will get destroyed. So it's not the worst idea to use. You will get the speed effect, and there's no real negative other than you have to waste time to put the boon up, but you've got 3 other survivors doing gens and getting chasers, so your time management is a lot more lax than killer's time management. For example, if the killer goes off to, let's say you can relight hexes when they're broken. If a killer walks off to relight a hex and comes all the way back, that's 4 survivors with no pressure on them, potentially on 4 separate gens, and you wasting 10 to 20 seconds walking back and forth, maybe more, right? So for killer, it's a lot worse wasting that time. For survivor, because there's 3 other people who are doing stuff, it's not actually that big a deal. But once again, the devs don't get that. Breakout, increase the haste effect while near a character survivor to 10%. The haste effect while near a character survivor to 10%. Oh, wait, what is breakout? Why do I not remember what breakout is? I thought breakout was making it where the wiggles more. So breakout makes it where one survivor is a bit faster. Oh, it has 2 effects. Weird. Okay. Okay, strange, sure. They go faster now, a lot faster. 3% more, so once again, almost 50% more. It's about 20 to 30% in it. 20 to 30% more. Increase the haste effect while using a flashlight to 70. That is... What is that? 20% again? No one left behind. Now increase the haste effect for unhook survivors by 10% instead of applying a separate haste effect. Oof. Wait, this doesn't make sense. Increases the haste effect. Oh, wait, this is stacking hastes. to an extent. I guess base level haste, it isn't stacking. So when you unhook someone, they already get 10%. So they've worded this in a way where they're saying that it's not stacking, but really it is, and it gives 120%, correct? So 120%. Breakout is used on every Sabo build and makes you reach hooks faster and helps the survivor wiggle faster. Yeah, true. So, you know, Sabo builds are even stronger. Such, Sabo don't actually have counterplay either, if you didn't know. They sped up Sabos, so there's actually no counter to it. The hook will always break and you won't be able to put that person on the hook, and depending on how long you've been holding that person, you won't be able to put them down, because when you put a survivor down, it actually takes 25% wiggle off you, right? So let's say this is how it works, right? So let's say you've been holding someone for 50% wiggle, right? It doesn't show, you have to kind of guess. When you put them down, now it's 75% wiggle. That wiggle never regresses, so if that person walks just a bit away from any hook, they are immune. You cannot pick them up again. And that's your best case scenario. Worst case scenario is you've been holding for 75%, they Sabo in front of you, you put them down, they jump off because they're actually at 75%. If you put them down at 75%, it goes all the way to 100%, and that's why they fall off your shoulder, if you've ever wondered. But yeah, Sabo has really pretty much no counterplay either, especially if the survivor does it well. No counterplay. And then the person you put on the floor, you cannot hook. Luckily, I don't go for hooks as much now, so it's not as bad. But when I was going for hooks, that was really bad. Furtive Chase, increased haste effect after hooking the obsession to 10% was 5. How many seconds is this? I can't remember. It's just when you're at a hook into it. So this, dude, this is so stupid, right? So look at this. Look at this objectively, right? This is why I keep saying, like, the survivors of this game are spoiled children, and the killers are like an unwanted child, right? So they're giving loads of stuff to the survivors what they want, right? You know, when I use this, oh, now, nice, I go a bit faster. When I use this, oh, nice, now I can Sabo a bit better. Or when I use this, oh, I can do the flashlights a bit better. Or when I use this, oh, I can protect them a bit better. Or what can I do as killer? Or I can get away from the hook quicker. I can get away from the hook quicker. What survivors want, they want you to get away from the hook quicker. Like, oh, look, Pentimento. Let's see. Oh, wait, that's the Pentimento one. Never mind. I thought I was going to say Devour. Devour makes you get away from the hook as well. Devour at least does reward you, though. But yeah, fucking... Is that the only haste one they changed as well? The one where you get away from the hook? Okay, so Penti. I said 2 things. I don't want to read this. I said 2 things they're going to do, right? It was 33% just on doing 1 lit totem. I 100% were adamant they are not going to get to 33%, right? They're going to get lower than 33%, and that's when you've done 4 totems. So they're either going to do 1 or 2 things. They're going to do, like, you know, I think I said 7% per totem. Wait, 7, 14, 21, 28, right? So 28%. So they're either going to do 7% per totem. So even when you get all 4 totems, it's still worse than all Pentimento. Or they're going to start with a high percentage and then get lower per totem. So, you know, maybe like 15... No, I can't get to 30. You'd have to go down well fast. Maybe 15.7 or maybe 10... 7.5, 5, maybe something like that. Okay, I'm going to see. When a totem is rekindled, survivors heal and repair 15% slower. Oh my god, and then 5 per one. So they're doing the one what doesn't look as bad. So let's see, 15, 20, 25, 30. It's 30, so it's 3% worse than just 1 totem. So this is even worse than you think, and this is why I said it's dead. Even with Penti against good players, it still weren't crazy. They still did gens. So even with good Penti. With this one, you're going to need to get all 4 lit at the same time, which isn't going to happen. They're going to be breaking them as you do it, and then you can't get them back ever again. It's a hex. You can't get it back, so then it's gone. Once they've broke just 1 of them, the highest you're going to get to is lower than just lighting 1. With old Penti, the current one, you can have them break like 4 totems, and then you can just put 1 down, and then go and do whatever. When they break that one, which once again gives you 33% slowdown, by the way. You can go to another one and then light that as well. So you can have these safety nets on how many they've broken and just wait throughout the game and kind of put them on throughout the match, right? Which is very, very strong and the best way of playing it. And it punishes survivors playing stupid on totems. This one, when you just put one down, you're getting more, you're getting less than half of the benefit now. You're getting 15%. They've took off 50% of its efficiency for one totem. And then when you start putting the other totems, you pretty much get nothing. So you might as well use this the exact same way, where you just do the 15%. So instead of thinking about, oh, the other totems give me 5%, there's no point. The way to use this is you just use it like a 50% nerf to Pentimento, where if they break, 4 totems, you just put one down for the 15% now. That's what it is. But not only that, oh wait, there's more. Oh wait, there's more. Not only 50% worse, which already was doable to go against, so now it's even easier to go against. Yeah, we'll... where is it? Oh, we'll give you aura, and we'll show you where the fucking penties are. So we'll make it 50% worse, and we'll give you aura. So yeah, I think Penti's dead. It already kind of were. It was a bit meme, but I said it was dead. But what do you think? Do you think it's still fine? Or do you understand that I was right again? %50. Nah, Penti weren't good with Plaything. This is an indirect nerf to Plaything, by the way. Because people are not going to be as scared about cleansing because this Penti is a bit of a joke. So people might just cleanse totems now. One good thing you could do, it was like this kind of, it was almost like kind of this, it was like a psychological game what you could play, but it only happened at the higher level. When you used Plaything, top survivors, good survivors, survivors with game sense, they wouldn't cleanse Plaything because they would be afraid of you having Pentimento, right? So you would be able to have all 4 survivors completely oblivious throughout the whole match using Plaything. This is going to make people second guess, maybe I should just cleanse. 15%'s nothing, and then I've got aura to find all the totems quickly as well. So maybe I should just cleanse. So it's an indirect nerf to Plaything. Once again, another perk which isn't really used. And once again, hex perks, which should be the strongest perks in the game. Stronger than boons, by the way, by far, because they can be destroyed and never used again, unlike boons, which can be relit over and over and over. But there you go. Unbound. The haste effect, yeah, I've talked about that. The unbound shit, because you need to injure them, and then you get the 10%. And if you injure them, they're usually going to have a sprint burst, and it means they've got distance. And if they get to the window with distance, that 10% will only... You'll probably just catch up to where you already were before the injure. So, yeah, I don't think it's worth... We'll see, but I don't think it's worth it. It's too specific. Quest system, blah, blah, blah. Base game adjustments. Added a protection to survivors when the teammates spam the unhook interaction without ever unhooking. Added a protection to survivors when their teammates spam the unhook interaction without ever unhooking. Huh? What protection? What's that mean? Oh, it forces an unhook, okay. Added protection for failing skill checks that trigger right when... Oh, they stopped that as well. So these will add up, by the way. So at the, once again, top level, because that's the level all these things impact very negatively. They're probably really positive for the lower levels. At the top level, survivors aren't really going to miss skill checks, right? The only time you will, like me, for example, is if I'm kind of looking... Well, not even looking at chat. It's when I'm trying to get great skill checks, basically. But one other time where you only do, and I'm still kind of on the fence if this should be a thing as well. I'm just saying this is going to be, it's a snowball effect, right? Like everything's kind of snowball, or ripple effect. Like it's a small ripple, but it's rippling into everything. So this is one of the biggest gem regressions in the game currently. A survivor missing a skill check, if you didn't know. It's 10% of total. So a lot of killer perks now are like 10% of current, or 20% of current. 20% of current's fuck all. Because a lot of the time, on average, if you average it, you just put 50% of the gem, which would be 45 seconds, right? So 10% of that would be 4.5 seconds it takes off the gen, right? Or 20% of it would be 9 seconds it takes off the gen, right? But 10% of total would be straight away 9 seconds, right? So 10% of total is pretty much on average the same as 20% of current, right? And survivors could do that. So survivors essentially could regress a gen faster than any killer possibly could. And at the highest level, as I go back to it, the only time they really missed is when this skill check happened, when they let go of the gen and it exploded. Not only did it give you information, which was, you know, good, that won't ever happen again. It also allowed some slowdown to happen kind of passively in some games, not all the time, but in some games. Now that won't happen. So this is once again a ripple effect. You will feel this ripple. It's very minor, but it is a ripple and it adds to everything else. Do you get me? This is one thing the devs don't get, the ripple thing, what I keep talking about. It's super important. Everything, like, it's only a small little storm, but it ripples for everything. Hasten hindered stacking. We know that they don't stack. Surrender option. So a new killer scenario. 10 minutes after the last generator is completed. The 10 minutes! 10 minutes. Why don't it just do it instant? When the last generator is completed, the killer has the option to surrender. Why don't they just do that? Why do you have to wait 10 minutes? So they can fuck around with you for 10 minutes and then you can surrender. Okay, yeah, I'll just keep people slugged for 10 minutes and then they can surrender. Like, what? That's way too long. Survivor can surrender as soon as 4 are down. They don't need to wait like a minute or 2 minutes. It's instant. But killer needs to wait 10 minutes. No, man. Like stop this fucking double standard shit. I don't know how people can handle this, man. Like, like me saying this, you're super killer biased and stuff, but the devs are so biased with the fucking shit. It's mind-blowing that it feels like I'm the only one who notices this stuff. Fucking hell. It feels like I'm in some fucking sitcom or like some like social experiment. I swear to God. Devs, make it when all 5 generators are completed, the killer can instantly quit, right? All the survivors get the win, the killer gets the loss, but he can just quit. Just like when all the survivors are slugged, they can just quit, you see? Same shit. The killer has pretty much lost and don't want to continue. He can continue, but he doesn't have to, and he don't want to. Like, maybe he's got one hook, all the gens are done. He doesn't want to just keep trading hook over and over again because it's boring as fuck. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, 10 minutes, so they can play with you for a bit. You know, you're the little play thing, and you're stuck in match for 10 minutes. Like, fucking hell, dude. So biased. Rarity levels have been revised, better surface different tier value, adding a new tag-based system that allows to surface extra information to players. Okay. Bot improvements. With the camera direction bots while they're turning corners, where bots are no longer trigger happy with their flashlights. Okay, so buffing the bots a bit. Fun to go against, not. Audio fixes. Yeah, more bots, character. More UI stuff. Talent screen would leave bullet points. I guess that's maybe at the end. Audio feedback. Anyway, or MISC. Let's be achievement. Demagogue from it, yeah. Yeah, well, there you go. As I said, I feel like it's a fucking social experiment, this shit. I swear to God, I do. Like, how do people not talk about this stuff, what I see? Like, is there something I'm missing?